If you missed it, in the last video we talked about simple yet efficient layouts for your materials, things like the timber production, brick production, up to the reinforced concrete. And today we're going to talk about this, what I call the special productions. They're not really materials, but they're not also needs for your people. Things like the sails that you need for your boats, the weapons, the advanced weapons too, as well as the steam motors. We've also covered in the past the production chains for the different tiers of populations like farmers, workers, artisans. I'm Strat Gamer, covering city building, simulations, strategy games with game reviews, guides, tutorials and let's plays. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, don't hesitate to press the red button below so you never miss another video and you help support the channel. Okay, diving right in with the first one, the sail production. It requires wool from your sheep farm that will be then delivered into your sails makers. If you don't have electricity or silos, that a pretty simple sort of rectangle that you can make like this, with those two sails makers at the bottom, because they have a production time of 30 seconds, exactly the same as the sheep farm. And then the sheep farm just above, and your warehouse in the middle. Now let's talk about the weapon production chain in the weapon factories, and this is one that it's a bit tricky for a lot of players at the beginning of the game. They don't understand that this long production time of 1 minute and 30 seconds means you actually need a lot of those buildings to really have a perfect production ratios. So what does that mean? Well, if you want to get to 15 seconds, you actually need 6 here and 3 there, with those 2 warehouses in the middle, deliver as quickly as possible for all of these, and a fire station in the middle because those things tend to explode quite a bit. And what do we need? Well, we actually only need steel, similar to the steel beam production. And this one is 30 seconds, so you need 2, 1 on each side. This one will deliver in 1 tile to those 3, this one on 1 tile to those 3. And for the steel, we need iron, which is 15 seconds, and that's why we only need 1. And that's basically what you put sort of in the middle of your layout, that this will deliver on this one and on this one. So you can basically sort of copy this layout anywhere you have an iron mine or a mine that you can transform into an iron mine with the Land of Lion DLC. And then you'll also need coal. So if you have a coal mine over there, well, that's perfect, you can use it. Otherwise, just put 2 charcoal clean, 1 on each side, because they will deliver to the furnace. So this one delivers here, this one to that one. You do have to note that they do require an available area, a cultivation area. So you need to be careful that it's, there's enough space. For example, if we move this one a bit closer, we'll see that this decreases. So we need to make sure it is at 100%. So that's the normal weapon production. But the one that creates more problem for people is the advanced weapon production. As you can see, it's a bit more complex, but there is a great layout for this. Let's look at it. Okay, here is the perfect layout for your advanced weapon production that covers everything. It ends in the heavy weapon factories. It is 1 minute production time, so we need 4. It will require both steel that we just talked about. So this is easy. You'll have 2 over here with your 2. You have 2 over here with your 2 charcoal cleans and your iron mine. So all of this will deliver without problem to those furnaces, and then the furnaces will deliver those 4 here. But you also need something a bit more complex, which is the dynamite. It comes from the dynamite factory. It is a 1 minute production time, so you need 4 too, and you can see them 1 here, 2, 3 and 4. The exact layout here will definitely depend on the shape of your arbor area, but you can see you can do definitely something pretty neat here, where you have those 4, and those 4 require 2 things. The tallow that you can see here, 4 of these, it's also 1 minute. And for this 1 minute, we need also 4 pigs at 1 minute, or 2 if you're putting silo, putting 2 on that side to deliver to these 2, and 2 on that side to deliver to those 2. And you also need salpet. There's not that many production that require salpet. That's also why a few people don't really love this advanced weapon chain. But you can see it here. It is at 2 minutes if you don't have electricity. So here we have 8 of these. We're using a bit the trick that I showed you for the fish production, because you don't need to put them all over here on the arbor area directly on the shore. You can also put them further as long as there's a wall. That's why we have those 6 here. And then 2 on the sides here, just because this one didn't fit there. So here it is for the advanced weapon production. It is possible, as you can see here, The only thing is that you will require electricity for these heavy weapons factories. You have a couple of choices. Could be that you actually have electricity either from a power plant or gas-fired power plant that's, a bit further here and covering those three. Or you could do a trade union that covers these and not the other buildings, where you put somebody like Meg that provides electricity. Or you can also provide electricity to the whole layout, but then you will need less of things. For example, instead of 2 furnaces, you'll only need 1. Similarly for your mine and other buildings like your dynamite factory. So important to note that. The last one we're going to talk about is the motor assembly line. And to be honest, for this one, I don't think there's a great layout out there, because you need so many raw materials from your mines. You need iron, coal, zinc, and copper from mines. And as you can see, also the copper and the zinc, they produce in 30 seconds. So if you want to get to the 15-second cycle of the iron and coal mine, you're gonna need 2 of these and 2 of these. So that's a lot of mines to have very close. What will happen is you'll probably have 1 of these and 1 of these, and then close to those 2 mines, you will put 2 brass smelteries and a warehouse. And then similarly, somewhere you will have an iron mine, maybe a coal mine or charcoal kiln, and you will put your furnaces, 2 furnaces, and again a warehouse. And then in that warehouse, you're gonna have a lot of steel and a lot of brass, and then you're gonna put a small layout like this, where you just put your motor assembly line, for example 3 of these, if you want again to get to the 15-second cycle. And the steel and brass will be taken from that warehouse, delivered to the buildings, and then the final product of the motors, the steam motors, will be delivered back into the warehouses. So it's not a fully integrated layout like all the other ones we've seen so far, but for this one, this is basically the best you'll probably be able to do. Don't hesitate to share in the comments below if you have thoughts, comments, questions, also requests for future layouts. Do you want to see other types of layouts? Do you want to see maybe with trade unions or maybe for population tiers? I'd love to hear about it. And if this video was useful or if you liked it, don't hesitate to press the like button, and I hope to see you next time.